In Puerto Rico, the governor and the justice secretary announced the creation of new interview rooms for survivors of domestic and sexual abuse to avoid revictimization and to expedite services to victims. Francis Felix has the story.
As a measure to prevent the revictimization of survivors of domestic violence and sexual abuse, the Puerto Rico's governor, Pedro Pierluisi, and the Secretary of Justice Department, Domingo Emanueli, announced the creation of new interview rooms in the specialized units for domestic violence, sexual crimes, and child abuse. There are 13 rooms with specialized equipment with the consent of the victims. The interview with the prosecutor can be broadcast simultaneously in the room of the victim service technician so that he or she can listen to the statement prior to filling out the case. This speeds up the identification of the services the victim needs and prevents them from having to repeat their testimony. With a view to continuing to further improve the services we provide to victims of gender violence and other sexual crimes through the Office of Compensation and Services for Victims and Witnesses of Crime, we undertook the task of creating new rooms. These rooms are specialized interview rooms, which are called soft interview rooms. Pierluisi explained that each prosecutor's office will have one of these rooms prepared with elements aimed at making survivors feel more comfortable and safe, both physically and emotionally. For the Justice Secretary, this tool expedites the granting of aid to victims from the beginning of the process and prevents them from being interviewed again by victim assistant technicians in order to receive the services available. This interview tool promotes a trauma-focused approach as it considers the potential effects and biological and cognitive responses that may be present in survivors. This allows the prosecutor and legal transcriptionist to conduct the interview and take the affidavit in a private and convenient setting so that the survivors can best manage the process. The initiative had an allocation of more than $2,000 granted through the Office of the Advocate for Women from funds granted under the CARES Act. Reporting from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix for One Caribbean News.